Hello, Pioneers. Today is Wednesday, December 4th. My name is Abby Curry.
And I'm Malin McGrainer, and this is your weekly premiere of The Press. Stories for today consist of changes made to Donald Trump's administration, President Biden's pardoning of his son Hunter, and the recent cyber attacks on American tech companies. But first, Kylie is going to take a deeper look into the reopening of the famous Notre Dame Cathedral. Kylie?
Thanks, Malin. The Notre Dame Cathedral, located in Paris, France, is scheduled to reopen to the public on December 8, 2024. The building, which suffered from a fire nearly 5 years ago, has undergone massive renovations, and as new images emerge, anticipation grows among the public. With the cathedral being nearly 800 years old, it was important to not only France, but countries around the world that it be restored back to its well-known figure. CNN reports that, quote, in total, nearly $900 million was raised through donations from 340,000 donors in 150 countries, end quote. Out of that $900 million, donors from the U.S. were responsible for providing just over $57 million. While the destruction of such ancient history brought disappointment to some, others saw it as an opportunity to reconnect to the past and the history surrounding the building. According to Bloomberg, quote, while a few components that were destroyed have been replaced with new designs, such as the golden cockerel atop the church's spire, the project has also rekindled connections with the crafts of the past in a way that might delight traditionalists, end quote. From hand painting the cathedral's walls and pillars to cutting down and shaping nearly 2,000 oak trees by hand, workers have spent countless hours preparing the historic building to open to the public again. And all that hard work has seemingly come to pay off. That's all from me today. Now Maddie takes a look into what will happen to the Senate once J.D. Vance becomes vice president. Maddie?
Hi Pioneers, I'm Maddie Patton, and this is what's going to happen when J.D. Vance becomes vice president.
Since J.D. Vance became vice president, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine would name someone to fill Vance's empty seat until a special election on November 3rd, 2026 would be held for the rest of the Senate term, which ends in 2028. Whoever DeWine selects to serve in the Senate must go through the process of running in a special primary and then winning the November election. If DeWine's appointed pick chooses not to run or goes on to lose the race, the next replacement will take office around December 15, 2026.
That's all for today, Pioneers. Now back to the desk.
Thanks, Maddie. In our last national show, prior to Thanksgiving break, we discussed Donald Trump's nomination of former Florida Representative Matt Gaetz as his Attorney General. Since then, Gaetz announced he would be withdrawing his nomination for the position. CBS News reports that this decision came, quote, amid an investigation by House Ethics Committee for alleged sexual misconduct and illicit drug use, end quote. Following the withdrawal, Trump has nominated former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi. The 59-year-old has long been in Trump's corner, showing her support in a multitude of ways, including endorsing the former president over Florida candidate Senator Marco Rubio just before the 2016 Florida primaries. She also served as a chairwoman of America First Policy Institute, an organization established by former Trump administration staffers. Bondi made history in 2010 when she was announced as Florida's first female Attorney General.
Following the recent Attorney General nomination, Donald Trump has presented 44-year-old Kash Patel as his pick to serve as the new FBI director. Patel, a longtime loyalist to Trump, supported him throughout his first term as president. According to the U.S. Department of Defense, quote, Mr. Patel served as the former Chief of Staff to Acting Secretary of Defense Christopher Miller and is responsible for leading the Secretary's mission at the department, including his executive staff and providing counsel to the Secretary on all matters concerning the department's operations, end quote. Patel has recently heavily criticized the Bureau, threatening to, quote, shut down, end quote, the headquarters building located on Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C., and reopen it as a museum of the deep state. He later went on to say, quote, and I'd take the 7,000 employees that work in that building and send them across America to go chase down criminals, end quote. Although Patel has been nominated by Trump to replace current FBI Director Christopher Wray, Wray's 10-year term is not set to be up until 2027, meaning Wray will either have to resign or be fired by Trump if Trump expects Patel to take control of the Bureau before then.
On Saturday night, President Joe Biden gave his son Hunter Biden a full unconditional pardon for the offenses he, quote, may have committed or taken part in, end quote, from January 1st, 2014 through December 1st, 2024. These include, but are not limited to, 3 felony charges Hunter was found guilty of in June of this year relating to a 2018 gun purchase where he lied about being in possession of illegal drugs, 3 felony tax offenses, and 6 misdemeanor tax offenses which Hunter was found guilty of in September. The pardon by President Biden comes nearly 6 months after he told reporters, quote, I abide by the jury decision. I will not do that and I will not pardon him, end quote.
U.S. officials have advised Americans to use encrypted messaging apps to help hide private conversations from hackers. This comes after major companies such as AT&T and Verizon were subject to telecommunications cyber attack from sources located outside of the U.S. The FBI reports that these hackers have ultimately had access to call records, live phone calls, and systems with which telecommunications companies use.
That's all for our show today, Pioneers. As always, thanks for watching. For the press, I'm Abby Curry.
And I'm Malin McRainer. Make sure to tune in next Wednesday for more national news and have a great rest of your week.